What's going on, everybody? My name is Daniel. I am the admin of all those JazzNation pages that you're following online through through TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the podcast, the YouTube, the Patreon. I think there may be a MySpace page. I'm not 100% sure anymore, but you can find the links for all those pages in one simple spot. Just go to linktree.com/JazzNation News. Welcome into a special edition, Sunday morning edition of Jazz Nation Daily for July 2nd. Took a couple days off there for the Jazz Nation Daily. I'm sure you survived, but I thought I'd pop in early this morning to catch you all up on some of the news here. Honestly, the jazz side of news things has been a little slow. Free agency kicked off, but just like I think we all kind of suspected the Jazz had been pretty much dead. Nothing going on for the Jazz as far as free agency. Really, the only news as far as the Jazz side of things since we last talked. Obviously, the last time we talked, we did the emergency Jazz Nation podcast. Me and Will Wonder jumped on to talk about the Jazz keeping Kelly Olynyk, and then Jordan Clarkson opting in. Since then, there's been kind of news about Jordan Clarkson update that him and the Jazz are working on a 3-year extension. The crazy thing is, though, that was reported by Mark Stein. Mark Stein, respected reporter, very well sourced. Believe him when he says that. But the weird thing is, there hasn't been anything else. Like, we haven't gotten a Woj bomb. We haven't gotten anything from Shams saying, it's done, such and such. I actually put out a post yesterday saying anyone else feeling a little suspicious, like what's going on? Why haven't we heard a confirmation from a Woj or Shams and things like that? It's always, I got to tell you something. I say this sometimes about when I work in a social media page and the different kind of, comments. Let's put the easiest way of saying it, different comments that I see on different social media. So yesterday, I put out a post about Jordan Clarkson saying, "Isn't it strange that we haven't heard anything as far as like confirmation from Woj or Shams about Jordan Clarkson and extension? Like, is there anything else going on? Is there going to be some kind of trade maybe possibly going on as well?" Put the little face on there, wondering. And it was just funny to see the different comments, on different social medias. On the Facebook, people are telling me to chill. What am I making up this fake news? Clickbait. Which I thought was hilarious because there wasn't even a link for anyone to click on there. It's true. Social media posts, just like that, just like many people that do social media posts, is you're trying to get engagements. That's how it works. That's if I don't do that, if anyone else doesn't do that with their social media page, then it fails. So in a sense, you're correct. It is kind of clickbait. I'm trying to get people to reply though. It's just trying to make conversation. I'm not trying to lie to or make up any kind of information. I never even said in the post that Jordan Clarkson's getting traded. I just said, is there some kind of trade going on? I just thought it was strange. And I still think it's a little strange that we haven't heard a definite what's going on with Jordan Clarkson as far as the extension. It's not done. There hasn't been any updates on it since that Mark Stein tweet. So it's just a little strange. Or it's not strange because the Jazz are just being extremely smart and waiting to see what happens with, free agency. Obviously now Dame Lillard has officially come out and asked for a trade. There could be a thing too that maybe unfortunately Jordan Clarkson is actually asking for an extension but wants to get traded to elsewhere. And so they're working on a sign and trade. I hope it's not that, but we don't know. That's all. That was the point of that post, was just to say, isn't it strange that we haven't heard a confirmation from a Woj or Shams on that yet? That's all. But yeah, like I was saying, it was just interesting to see the different, so that was kind of how Facebook went. Twitter, I actually got replies to people saying, well, that is kind of this, and give me their thoughts. And then Instagram was a lot of like, just chill out, bro. You're overthinking it. Whoa, calm down. So it's always I always love the interesting parts about social media in that sense of how each one's its own kind of replies and stuff. And speaking of social media, now Twitter since yesterday has just been a complete shit show. Honestly, so I hadn't been on Twitter. Go to bed, get my 6 hours of sleep in, whatever it is. Go back on Twitter this morning. It still sucks. Still giving me this, what is it called? The something limits on it or whatever. It's just terrible. I mean, what a disaster. Like, look, I could understand trying to get people off the social media. It's like, go out and live your life. Here's the problem. We all use Twitter for our news resource. Like, this is where all the NBA free agency trades, breaking news is happening. Until we can get Woj and Shams to like leave Twitter and go somewhere else to break the news, we're stuck with it. And it just, oh my goodness, what a disaster. Like, so I'm sure you all Twitter folks out there are understanding the frustration there. Anyways, since last we spoke, there's been some free agency. So maybe we could just run through real quick. Like I said, the Jazz haven't done anything as far as free agency. Like I said, the Jordan Clarkson thing's still up in the air. He did tweet yesterday, though. We were able to catch this on Twitter. He's talking about, he's basically was saying, hey, what's going on in Salt Lake, Utah? I don't know, maybe he just said Utah for the 4th. So he's in Utah for the 4th of July, which is not tomorrow, but the next day. Pretty cool. Oh, speaking of tomorrow, Jazz basketball returns tomorrow. Summer League. It's here. Yay. Salt Lake City Summer League begins tomorrow, Monday the 3rd. Then we take the Tuesday off for the 4th. Then back for the 5th and the 6th. If you are in town, you should go. Salt Lake City Summer League at the Delta Center. It's officially back to the Delta Center, too. I guess that's some news, too. Yesterday, July 1st, was the official return of the Delta Center. I mean, I know many of you have been calling it that ever since they made the announcement, and they've already had the signs out on the arena and stuff like that. But yesterday was the official return of the Delta Center. So welcome back, old friend. Can't wait to see you. I'll be there tomorrow at Salt Lake City Summer League. My assistant to the host on the from the podcast, the JazzNation podcast, Will Winder, will be there with me. Look for us outside the arena before the Jazz game. We'll be there. I think we're going to take a sign so you can see us holding it up saying, come play some JazzNation trivia, but come over, do some trivia, just kind of hang out, get some content stuff. If you can prove you're a hardcore Jazz fan and beat our trivia, he'll give us some prizes. So come find us out there. Sorry, I just realized I moved my microphone. That wasn't loud. Apologize about that. By the way, if you are watching this on the live stream right now, thank you very much. If you're watching this live on the Facebook, the Twitter somehow, or on YouTube, there's a section on there where you can leave comments and chat with me right now. If you're up right now, I'm recording this right now early in the morning. At the time I'm recording this, it's Sunday morning and it's 7:20 a.m. Got up bright and early to record this. Wanted to get on before my day gets going and catch up with y'all. So let's just run through some of the free agency stuff that's going on here. You know, a lot of it's kind of boring if we're being honest. A lot of players just stuck with their teams. You know, Harrison Barnes stayed with the Kings. The Nets traded Joe Harris to the Pistons. Draymond Green returns to the Warriors. The Lakers, I got to tell you, you know, I personally, for me, I think the Lakers, and I hate to say this, are killing it in free agency. You know, they added Taurean Prince, who I kind of was hoping maybe the Jazz would think of. But, you know, here's the thing about Jazz and free agency. They have no room for free agency. I mean, yesterday they had to trade Damian Jones to the Cavs just to clear a roster spot. They got nothing in return, but it was just about clearing a roster spot. So best of luck to Damian Jones on his basketball journey over there in Cleveland. Cleveland, by the way, killing it in free agency too. Picking up former Jazz man George Niang, the minivan, reuniting with Donovan Mitchell out there. Who else did they pick up? They picked up Max Strauss. Yeah, the Cavs having a great free agency. Kyle Kuzma returns with the Wizards, gets some big money there. Here's a big deal. Bruce Brown signs a $45 million contract with the Pacers. Did not see that coming. I think most of us were kind of thinking Bruce Brown was going to go to the Lakers. Nope. Going to the Pacers. Jeremy Grant stays with the Blazers. Kyrie Irving gets a new deal with the Mavs. Chris Middleton returns to the Bucks. Jakob Poeltl stays with the Raptors. Cam Johnson gets a new deal with the Nets. The Lakers getting Gabe Vincent. I mean, come on. The Lakers are killing it. I hate to say this. Lakers are having a great free agency. I tweeted that out too, and people gave me crap about that, but that's how I think. I think the Lakers are killing it in free agency. They're having a great job. They also brought back Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, all going back to Lakers. They also signed Cam Reddish. Just another player, but I don't think that's a big deal, but still. just killing it in free agency. Fred VanVleet getting paid to go to the Rockets. Rockets having a pretty decent free agency. I believe they also picked up former Jazzman and now champion. Oh my gosh, I am going to have a brain fart right now on his name. Hold on. Oh my gosh. This is when I wish I wasn't live to not look like such an idiot. Hold on. Rockets get Dylan Brooks too. Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to say the name and go, of course. Once Jeff Green. Gosh, there it was. I knew I had it on the top of Jeff Green going to the Rockets. Dante DiVincenzo going to the Knicks. Another one that was interesting, some second round picks getting swapped for some decent players. Pacers getting Obi Toppin for second round picks. The Clippers getting Kenyon Martin Jr. from the Rockets for second round picks. But the Jazz, the Jazz acquired John Collins for Rudy a second pick. So these second picks, man, they're doing pretty good all of a sudden. It seems like. Shout out to the second round picks. It has to, but this all has to deal with. I'm guessing. I mean, look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am no mastermind when it comes to like knowing how the cap thing works and contracts and money and all that. That's never been my bag of things. There's much smarter basketball folks that you could go watch their podcast and listen to them talk about that stuff. Personally, for me, I've never been into that stuff, but I can only assume that a lot of these players getting traded away just for second round picks has to do with that. Otherwise, what is going on here? But yeah, that's some of the big free agency stuff going on there. As far as Jazz news, also I wanted to mention, I was talking about it earlier, Salt Lake City Summer League starts tomorrow. Let me see if I can hurry and pull up the schedule for that. But I was going to say that you can watch the games on NBA TV nationally. I think that might be on ESPN too, but I think it's just going to be all on NBA TV for the national audience. And then locally here in the Utah, Salt Lake City area stuff, you could watch it over the air on KJazz, but that is only the Jazz games. They're not going to have the other games. So it's only going to be the Jazz games. They're going to be on KJazz. Also, you can listen to it on a KSL Sports Zone if you just want to listen to it over the radio. As far as the schedule for the Salt Lake City Summer League, which starts tomorrow. So the first game, July 3rd, starts at 5 p.m. It'll be the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Philadelphia 76ers. By the way, the Philadelphia 76ers have a new coach, Nick Nurse, as their head coach. He's actually coaching the Summer League team, so that's kind of cool. Wants to get to know his new coaching staff and players and stuff like that, but big name there for you if you're a 76ers fan. Go check it out. Nick Nurse will be in the house. The main event for Monday will be the Oklahoma City Thunder versus Jazz. Fun thing here, the Thunder, Chet Holmgren, who played in last year's Salt Lake City Summer League and then got hurt, of course, and then was out the whole rest of the year. He's back, and he will be playing in Salt Lake City Summer League with Thunder. So that Thunder team is going to be kind of fun. Jared Butler, the former Jazz man who's with the Thunder, is also going to be on that Summer League team, which is kind of interesting because he's been in the league now for a while, but he's just, he's got a battle to keep a spot right now. So he'll be out there, but Chet Holmgren will be cool to see him back on the floor. For the Utah Jazz side of things, we've talked about it quite a bit here on JazzNation Daily and the JazzNation podcast as far as Taylor Hendricks and Bryson Ball. I've said it before. I do not think either one of them play in Salt Lake City Summer League. They've been out and out the last two practices with injuries. The injury, Bryce has just been having this thing since college. It's just been the same issues of things. And then Taylor Hendricks, he's tweaked his hamstring during his pre-draft workouts. I've said it before. I just don't see either one of those guys playing in Salt Lake City Summer League. It hasn't been confirmation of that official. That's just me saying that. But then I could see, I don't think Sensabaugh plays in Summer League at all in Salt Lake City or Vegas. But I could see Taylor Hendricks, skipping out in the Salt Lake City Summer League, but then playing in the Vegas one. The Vegas one's just a bigger deal. National, much bigger audience as far as people even just being down there and watching big name folks, better competition. I mean, no offense to Salt Lake Summer League, but there's way more people watching the Vegas Summer League on TV and things like that. So it wouldn't surprise me with that. But again, there has not been an official word. But as of right now, I would not bet on seeing either one of those guys in Salt Lake Summer League. But Keontae George is going to be there, so that will be fun to see him. Anyways, so the next Summer League games will be on Wednesday, July 3rd. Starts out with the Thunder versus... wait, that's not right. Excuse me. Let's try this again. The second games are on Wednesday, July 5th. That was embarrassing. And it cut off the schedule there for me. So let's pull this up. Actually, here we go. So the first game of that day will be the Grizzlies versus the Thunder. Main event for the night will be the 76ers versus the Utah Jazz, 7 p.m. And then the Salt Lake Summer League ends on Thursday, July 6th. Thunder versus 76ers kicks it off, and then the Grizzlies versus the Jazz. You know, look, I'm really happy as somebody that lives here in Salt Lake and stuff like that. It's awesome to be able to have this here and go see this. Man, but it is kind of a bummer how little teams there are now. And it's just, do any of you who are watching this on the live stream right now, maybe you can leave a comment, let me know. There used to be a thing they used to do when I was growing up at Salt Lake Community College called the Rocky Mountain Review. Man, they had so many teams there. It was so awesome. You could literally just get in there and walk up to players and stuff. I mean, obviously now there's way more security and stuff like that, but it was just so cool. There were so many teams there and things like that. I remember me and my friends, we would kind of wait in the back area where the teams would come out and try and get autographs and things like that. But man, that was an awesome event to go to. But now, it's just the Jazz and 3 other teams. I mean, it's totally better than nothing. I'll go with having the Jazz and 3 other teams over nothing. But it is a little bit of a bummer, I know they do one now, and I think it's in California. I think it's in Sacramento. They do kind of a smaller version there too and stuff. And everyone's just trying to get to the Vegas Summer League. It's just, I wish they could. I'm not asking for a huge more. Maybe add just 2 more teams if that's possible. That would be so cool. I don't know. One can dream. Anyone watching the live stream right now, if you have a memory of the Rocky Mountain Review back in the days, but that was fun. Let's see a couple people here are checking in on the live stream. Thanks so much. Let's see some of the comments here. Looks like Ryan from Facebook says the Lakers' success will depend on the health of Anthony Davis, regardless of what they did in free agency. That's true for sure. I mean, Anthony Davis has definitely got to prove himself. So yeah, that's big. That goes back to what I was talking about in free agency, though, as far as I think the Lakers are having a great free agency here. Mr. Heisenberg on the Facebook says Jazz has to sign and trade JC. I don't know if they have to or it has to, as it says there, but we'll see. Like I said earlier, it's kind of interesting that we haven't gotten a confirmation yet. And now this Dame Lillard stuff comes out, and of course, the places he wants to go first were reported was like Brooklyn and Miami, but then it comes down to it's basically Miami's the destination he for sure wants to go to. But then Portland does not have to trade him to exactly where he wants to go to. Like, they don't even have to trade him. He's requested a trade, but he's under contract. They don't have to trade him. And they also don't have to trade him to where he's, quote unquote, requesting to go. He could get traded. I mean, to be fair, if you're a Portland fan or, Portland executive, you should be trying to get the best return you can for a guy like Dame Lillard. Yes, he's getting a little older and stuff, but he's still, he had one of his best seasons last year. So he's still worth getting quite a bit of stuff. And look, would I love to see him in a Jazz uniform? Sure. He's still great. He can be that, he's a superstar level player. We've talked about this before in the podcast. Lauri Markkanen is an all-star now. That's awesome. Walker Kessler was a surprising rookie. It's awesome on the rise they're having. But none of those guys are superstar level players. We were talking about this before when this whole Luka Doncic stuff and should the Jazz get into this Luka Doncic talk and trying to acquire him, and people were like, he's a diva, you don't want him. That's like, shut up. If you can acquire a superstar level player, that takes your team to another level. The Jazz, we don't have that right now. Maybe Markkanen gets there at some point. He's not right now, though. If you could add a player right now that is at that superstar level, takes your team to right up there. People are going to be way more serious about the Jazz and what they are as far as competition. And that's just the way it works. It's truth. It is the truth. I mean, I know we try and fight against that because we are Jazz fans and we're used to the small market feel of things. And by gosh, we don't need a superstars. And sorry, guys, you got to have superstars to get to that level. So if there is some kind of way for the Jazz to acquire, the Jazz have assets. Let's be honest. The Jazz are swimming in assets right now. So who knows? It is so interesting right now. I say it all the time. Conspiracy Daniel over here. What is going on, right? Something's going on in Utah. Something's got to be going on because we haven't heard anything. It's I don't want to go all conspiracy here. It's just because I also just don't want to. I don't want to. I would be into the whole idea if Dame Lillard came here, get a chance for the next, if you can get the next 1-2 years out of him as far as when he's still in the superstar level. I know his contract's huge, but my God, sometimes you just got to take it and give it a try. Otherwise, we're just going to keep swimming in mediocrity here and making playoffs and getting eliminated. And I don't know about you Jazz fans, but I'm over that. I am so ready to get to the finals and compete again and stuff like that. So I'll just say that. I said it earlier in this whole episode. I am not a contract guy. I'm not a money guy. I'm a numbers person, things like that. I have no idea off the top of my head how they can match things and whatever like that. But if there's a chance to get Dame Lillard, and by the way, of course the Jazz are in talks about it because, like we said on the last episode of the podcast, it is every GM's job to call a team. If a superstar is now available, I guarantee every NBA team has called the Blazers or texted or however they communicate and just said, hey, just want to touch base, heard he's available. You obviously know what we have available. What would it take from our roster to get him? And then the Blazers GM guys, they'll look it over and say, this is what it would take. And the other team, they go back and forth and say, nah, it's not going to happen. And that's how it probably ends at that point. I guarantee the Jazz have called and just said, hey, what would it take? And there's conversations. It's their job. So if I was drinking some honest juice right now and said I have to spill the honest truth, do I think Dame Lillard comes to Jazz? Probably not. But I'm going to keep my hope up. We'll see. We shall see. Let's take a look at another comment here from Facebook. Ryan, thanks so much for checking out right now on the live stream. What do you think chances of landing Tyler Hero are being involved in a 3-team trade? Yeah, there was something that came out, I think yesterday. It had to be yesterday. That's when this whole Dame Lillard news broke. But about how Portland's trying to, if they were to do a deal with the Heat, trying to look for a third team to take on Tyler Hero's deal because it's a pretty big deal. He signed a recent new deal, and I guess Portland maybe just doesn't want to get in. They don't want to get stuck down with big deals like that. So, I mean, Jazz are definitely one of those teams where maybe they could take on a guy like that. Here's the thing, though. I mean, it would really have to depend. The Jazz would have to ship somebody else out. It would just depend because that's just another guard. Is Tyler Hero a point guard? I don't think so. Could he play a guard position? Sure. But as far as like a point guard guy, no. He's just another scorer guard, right? We have a lot of those right now, doesn't it feel like? So, I don't know. Is Tyler Hero better for the Jazz than Colin Sexton? Maybe, but he's had some health issues now this last season and stuff like that. So I don't know. Would I be? So that is such a tough one, and on the spot here, man. I don't know. That's a hard one. If you're watching the live stream right now, let me know. Would you be against Tyler Hero joining the Jazz somehow? And this as maybe the Jazz are 3 as part of this thing going on as far as them being the third team in this whole situation. I don't know. Did I mention I don't know if I could be into that right now? I don't think so. No, I'm sorry. I was trying to think to myself here and think it over. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to say I don't think so. Sorry. This is what happens when you're just live streaming. You're just thinking off the top here and just going, I don't know. Probably not. Anyways, I just really wanted to jump on and catch up on the little bit of news that we've had here. Apologize, took a couple days off there. There really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. And the weekend, it's like 4th of July-ish weekend. A lot of family time, a lot of just hanging out and chilling and stuff like that. So that's what we were up to. But I just want to get on here, give the update. Thank you guys so much for following the pages. Thanks to those that jumped here on the live stream, gave me some comments here. I see Ryan. Thanks so much for the con. Brian. Mr. Heisenberg on there. Thanks so much. Anyone that was able to watch as well live on the YouTube, if you're possibly on the Twitter, if that's still working at all. No updates right now. As of right now, on the Jordan Clarkson thing, like I said, he tweeted out going to be in Utah for the 4th of July. That sounds promising. He's not somewhere else, right? So take that for what it is. If anything else, breaking news happens and it feels like we need to, we'll jump on, do another live stream or JazzNation podcast. But for now, we're just going to check out and enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Please, if you haven't, though, make sure you're following all our JazzNation pages. Like I said, we are available on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We've got our podcast out there. We've got the YouTube page. By the way, shout out the YouTube page. The last JazzNation podcast that we did has been our biggest YouTube views thus far. Last I checked, it was up to 1,800 views. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for checking that out. A little surprising, though, that it's outdoing our Walker Kessler interview. If you haven't checked out our interview that we did with Walker Kessler, you really, really should. It was such a fun interview. There are questions that we asked on there that I have never heard anyone else ask him. He is such a fun guy to hear about. Just search JazzNation Walker Kessler and you'll find it on there. It's a great interview. So much fun. Check it out. Want to mention as well, if you've ever thought about a way that you can help support the pages and all the work that we do here, we have a Patreon page. It's Patreon, patreon.com/JazzNation. You can go on there. It's only $6. It helps, whatever you can give as far as, sorry, I'm hitting the mic again. I gotta stop doing that. But if you can do that, subscribe on there. I really appreciate it. I'm really working hard, doing my best. I'm trying so hard to get some more exclusive interviews lined up for that page there. But for now, if you just want to go on there and get, $6, it's just a way to say thank you for all the work you do there. Appreciate it. Again, it's patreon.com/JazzNation, or you can just go to linktree.com/JazzNation News to find the links for all the pages that we do here. Going to check out for now for today's edition of JazzNation Daily. Thank you guys so much for checking in. If you did on the live stream here, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Again, I'm going to say this one last time. If you are going to Salt Lake City Summer League anytime this coming week, but we'll be there starting tomorrow before the Jazz game. Look for us outside the arena. Come do some JazzNation trivia. Test your jazz knowledge. If you can beat all our hard questions, you'll win a prize. Or just come over and we'll talk some jazz basketball, get some content recorded. You'll see us out there. I'll probably take a sign saying, "Hey, JazzNation over here, come hang out." And I'll put it on the social media pages about us being there as well. But check out for us there. Me and my podcast co-host, Will Wonder, will be out there. Anyways, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Be safe. Have fun. Go Jazz. And bye-bye.